Welcome. My name is Julie Esty, and I am the director of the Dearly Departed Players. Today is April 20th, 2020, and at the moment, the world is experiencing the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. I, along with the players, are sheltering in place to help stop the spread of the virus. We discovered during our first and hopefully last full month of quarantine that April is National Poetry Month. With that, the players, in conjunction with High Seas Ariel, decided to salute two local poets from the past, Harriet Gertrude Hollister Watres, also known as Stella of Lackawanna, and George W. Bowen. Quarantine hasn't stopped our desire to continue the arts in the Lackawanna Valley. We sincerely hope you enjoy this production and look forward to seeing all of you in person in the very near future. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy.
In memory of Spike Morgans, a fellow miner, by George W. Bowen. Death came along with solemn tread. He smiled at me, took Spike instead.
Laura in a Fix by George W. Bowen. Laura went to meet her lover where the myrtle grows all over. Golden sunbeams softly creep, lovely Laura falls asleep. Garden roses shyly peeping, see her mother slyly creeping. Silently she onward crept while the careless Laura slept. Kisses break sleep's chains asunder, lovelorn Laura wakes in wonder. Alfred, you are late, she said, kissed her mother dear instead. Child, now cried her wrathful mother, well, I see you love another. Laura, you have lied to me, convent now your home shall be. Convent life ill suits me, mother, for I dearly love another. Why did you not choose that life than to be my father's wife?
Neog Falls by George W. Bowen. The sun hath left a golden rim of glory shining in the west. The birds have sung their evening hymn. The weary flowers are at rest. The moon, attended by her maids, walks forth in beauty from her halls, and silvers thy enchanting shades, thou ever rippling Neog Falls. The birds to me their anthems sing, the wooded dells with music ring. My mind encharmed with heavenly song, I warble with the woodland throng, and sing thy praise, ye giant walls, that rise to guard thee, Neog Falls. Above me stand the hoary trees, around me blows the gentle breeze. Low at my feet the daisy grows, and further down the river flows. From crag to crag then disenthralls, and bursts in beauty, Neog Falls. Glassed in the cataract's bright sheen, the glories of the sun are seen, and magic music, soft and low, ascends from seas of spray below, that dash against thy dripping walls. Sweet Fairland, fair Neog Falls. Clothed in a silvery robe of spray, the frenzied river breaks away, and moaning in a doleful tone, it wanders on its way alone, and weeping in the field recalls thy warm embrace, sweet Neog Falls. I slowly mount the rising hill, stand on the summit, view thee still. I walk along the rocky ridge, I see thee from the towering bridge. I pause, I gaze, the scene appalls. Wondrous and wild, fair Neog falls. In beauty sets the summer sun upon thy glories one by one, and from his ancient cavern near, night spreads his sable shadows drear. I, sighing, leave thy beauteous halls, O scene of beauty, Neog Falls. The moon is rising in the east, the stars are waking from their rest, the clamor of the city gay to brooding silence dies away. How beautiful the moonlight falls to kiss thy waters, Neog Falls.
When Millie and I Were Young by George W. Bowen. My memory steals to other years, sweet years of youthful pride, when in the ivory-covered church I made Millie my bride. Oh, happy time, it lingers yet, though grief my heart has wrung, I never, never can forget when Millie and I were young. 'Tis 40 years since that glad day, oh how the years have flown, my raven hair is turned to gray, my youth to old age grown. Deep wrinkles mark my hoary brow, decay its fangs hath flung. My cheeks have lost their fervid glow since Millie and I were young. I caused her many a sigh and tear, and many a painful pang, yet on her youthful form so dear love's tenderest memories hang. I never can forget the day when death its mantle hung, and turned from life to crumbling clay my Millie, sweet and young. We lived together but a year, oh most unhappy morn. She smiled, I saw a rising tear, she died, our babe was born. They told me that my wife was dead, still to her form I clung, the gloom of death her cheeks o'erpressed, so beautiful and young. Well, you can see that little stone with carvings deep and rude. That is her grave, oft there alone I weep in solitude. I talk to her just as of old, and oft to her I've sung the simple hymns she loved so well when both of us were young.
Indian Mother's Prayer by George W. Bowen. O Great Spirit, Father, behold now thy daughter, when shadows gather upon the water, praying to thee. Hail, power divine, thy holy ear lending to this poor heart of mine, with anguish rending. Safeguard yon warrior bold with thy protection, for his brave bosom holds my heart's affection. Save him, O Spirit mild, O come in beauty to bless thy faithful child with love and mercy.
The Voice of Summer by George W. Bowen. It's calling from the mountains, it's calling from the dells, it's calling from the fountains, from rivers, brooks, and fells. It's calling from the woodlands, its thousand tangled ways. It's calling from the uplands where burnished sunbeams blaze. It's calling from the meadows, it's calling from the breeze. It's calling from the shadows, the bushes, birds, and bees. It's calling from the flowers and myriad fairy bells. It's calling from the bowers where holy beauty dwells. I cannot stay no longer down in this cruel gloom. I'm going out to wander where trees and flowers bloom, where sunshine gleams like silver and music fills the air. I'm coming, beauteous summer, your holy joys to share.
Heroes of the Mines by George W. Bowen. Swing the pick, boys, turn the drill. Work bravely on, work with a will. Stand the props and tamp the hole. Fill your chambers high with coal. Let your daily slogan be, 5 full cars of coal for me. Give the soldier boys a chance on the battlefields of France. Let the world your manhood know. Let your work your mettle show, that in the deep and gloomy mine, souls of heroes brightly shine. Valiant men that know no fear, when grim death is lurking near. Give the soldier boys a chance on the battlefields of France. Swing the pick with mighty stroke through the full mine fume and smoke. Everything depends on you and the mighty work you do. Bare your arms and bend your back till your iron sinews crack. Give the soldier boys a chance on the battlefields of France. God be with us, comrades dear, in the gloomy mine so drear. Give life and strength to everyone until the long hard shift is done. Keep the roof from falling, God, in chamber, crosscut, gangway road. We will give the boys a fighting chance on the battlefields of France. Oh, that my rough, untutored pen could tell the valor of these men, their souls intrepid, hearts of steel. I'd make the mighty world to feel the burning pangs of sympathy and praise their glorious work with me. Yes, we will give the boys a chance upon the battlefields of France.
George W. Bowen, The Hills of Dear Scranton. The hills of dear Scranton, they're wild and they're free, and dear are their forest-crowned bosoms to me. O heart-thrilling moment when rapture is mine, as I marvel and muse on their wonders divine. On the highest of peaks in the summer's rich glow, I stand and behold the great city below. Its breakers, its mansions, its steeple arise, majestic with splendor to the snow-clouded skies. The brown silent forests that creep to their brow, where the sumac, the pine, and the giant elms grow, where the white-blossomed laurel its glory displays, and the delicate daisy her jewel arrays. From the depths of the woodland so tuneful and clear, a world of sweet music ascends to my ear. I bend for to listen from their templed abode, the birds are all singing their anthems to God. The bluebird is piping his lilt love divine, his mate fondly is listening, is perched on the pine. The robin's rich music resounds through the dell as he sings to his love mate his evening farewell. Like jewels that glitter with beauty serene, Chinchilla, Clark Summit, and Dalton are seen. And farther away, like a beautiful rose, the village of Waverly gorgeously glows. And northward, wrapped deep with its rich purple veil, reposing in splendor lies sweet Carbondale, with German and Jessup and Oliphant Deer, with Peckville and Priceburg and Blakely all near. O hills of dear Scranton, thy tall peaks outspread, the home of my living, the graves of my dead. Wherever I wander, wherever I'll be, my heart turns untrammeled to Scranton and thee. I ask only this when life's journey will end, nothing more than a warm, tender tear of a friend, a green, shady spot, just a place for to rest, midst the hills of dear Scranton, the place I love best.
Rest by Harriet Gertrude Hollister Watres. There is a quiet hillside yonder after all, and upon some golden morrow, what though love may call, I shall sleep and rest me sweetly where its shadows fall. If my life yet grow too weary with its low-born care, and the blows fall fast and faster, more than I can bear, and no other rest or refuge, it awaits me there.
A Woman's Reason, a poem by Harriet Gertrude Hollister Watres. It appeared in the November 28, 1877 edition of the Scranton Republican, entitled A Coquette's Season. I might have told you long ago why I was cold as frozen snow when you were near. You might have guessed, had you of woman's ways possessed a tithe of intuition, you, knowing so much we never know, knowing so much, yet now to be fooled by this foolish mystery. I might have told you long ago, if you had cared the cause to know, and yet, whate'er it be, depend, you cannot comprehend, for none of your aspiring race have yet been wise enough to trace the whys and wherefores of a sex, born but to puzzle and perplex. You say that once I loved you, true, and knowing that, if but you knew, O rock of peril, O deep snare, the risk of all risks that you dare in loving back, or showing it, without that modicum of wit, that passion needs to hold in poise its mad and most disjointed joys. If you would hold a woman's heart, be not too fond, nor stand apart, and, as a wanton sea breeze sigh, with jealous blazes in your eye, because, forsooth, another comes to gather up a few poor crumbs of harmless smiles, for 'tis true that she will hate you if you do.
My cigar, dedicated to the lovers thereof. Musing in the dusk of summer, without moon or star, all my soul within is lighted by my bright cigar. Bless the man that first invented this narcotic weed. Wreathe his praise in curves of beauty, joy-inspiring weed. What though haters scorn to touch thee, smoothly folded leaf, and with speech as dry and musty as a lawyer's brief, paint the chronic aches and ailments hid in thine embrace, and with melancholy visage untold horrors trace. Yet would I, though dull existence light no other ray, lend me to this sweet forgetting at each close of day all the ills that fate may gather for my luckless head, all the villainies of worldlings to their lucre wed. All the witchiness of women, all her wicked wiles, stand forgotten in the blending of these smoke-curled piles. Oh, ye gods in your bestowing, ever grant me this, that though yearly taxes plague me, and all things amiss, though the world is dark around me with no brightening star, I may dream in summer twilights, or my prime cigar.
Send Them Home Tenderly by Harriet, Gertrude, Hollister, Watres. Send them home tenderly, guard them with care. Eager eyes tearfully watch for them there. Hearts that were yesterday, bounding and gay, lie in their agony, breaking today. Send them home tenderly, back to the sod, first by the refugee, Puritan trod. Blue hills and ocean waves echo the prayer. Send them home tenderly. Love waits them there. Linked in sweet trust, tenderly, tenderly, bear home their dust. Send them home tenderly, sister and shire, for at the thought of them, by the low fire, and a fond mother's heart hourly hath bled, tenderly, tenderly, bear home her dead.
Yesterday, by Harriet, Gertrude, Hollister, Watres. With white arms full of gifts for me, too dull to see, if I had known, while the bright day was yet my own. Today, ah well, today is fair, but need I tell what softer air, fresh as the morning breath of May, blew from the hills of yesterday? Sweet yesterday, with reaching hands I gaze away across the sands to see somewhere I may find a careless trifle left behind, a leaf wind blown that fluttered by when all alone the woods and I, or red rose that I used to wear in the dark beauty of my hair, the tender eyes that smiled in mine, if those dear eyes again would shine, and I might find along the way the heart that loved me yesterday. O love, O loss, no use, tired hands, to reach across the fading sands. They are not there, the gifts that lay in the white arms of yesterday.